Much. Good morning, everyone. Oh, I need this. First, I want to say it's a real pleasure and an honor to be here in Israel, where we are present and work. And it's a real pleasure to have the opportunity to tell us, as you just heard, how not only we intend to stay here, but try and be at the forefront of this smart mobility revolution, because transport and service, this is what we've done. And the way we're going to do it, it's in two ways. One, it's obviously by transforming, reinventing ourselves, investing, and partnering. Nobody can do it on its own, so we welcome partnership, public, private, municipalities, State of Israel, why not? And we're going to do it importantly. As you heard, we are 100 years old. We learned and done a lot in 100 years, and we believe that all what we have done is going to serve us big time. Just a few seconds of history. We are celebrating, indeed, 100 years old. It all started in Chicago with one man, one car in one city. That was the Ford Model T. Just a bit for a lot of you are young here. It was the first ever mass production big vehicle built. And it was rented without a driver, and he was so well received by this guy who had the idea, Walter Jacobs, that John Hertz, hence the name, 5 years later, bought the company and told 30% of the American people who had a driving license, drive yourself and discover America. And that's what he did. It was at the time actually a car-sharing startup. You could see that way. For the last 100 years, Hertz kept innovating. We have a traditional innovation. The list is very long. One example, though, as early as in 1925, and as you said, the General, it's a big country. Well, Hertz already had a coast-to-coast network in the United States, and then rolled out a lot of innovations. At some point, technology started to play a role. Fairly recently, though, I started myself with Hertz in 1980. At that time, I was behind the counter, pen, paper. The most advanced technology we had was telex and microfiche to prepare rental agreements on paper. 10 years later, though, we were paperless, tells you how fast the world is moving, and no rental agreement. Then in 2008, we entered the world of real car sharing, bought the technology, and now we operate thousands of cars, self-service by the hour, in more than 10 countries. So Hertz today is obviously no longer one brand in one city. We're a family of brands operating globally, different businesses, still car rental, car leasing, car sharing, car sales. We have an insurance company inside the company, a lot of competencies. We've created a big infrastructure of more than 10,000 brick and mortar locations in more than 150 countries. We run a fleet of 1 million vehicles which drive 40 million miles every single day. That's a lot of data around the car. And of course, we have 50,000 associates that deliver great service around the world. You can see the number, 2 million of customers. So we've created, if you will, a combination of an infrastructure, a lot of experience, and a lot of data, which today are critical, but are going to be even more critical when hopefully we're going to partner with all of you guys going forward within that smart mobility ecosystem. If I talk about competencies just around the car, we know how to buy, sell, maintain, move cars according to demand, insure cars, etc. So we learn a lot. Now, as the Director General said, the world is changing. This issue of climate change is obviously at the top of everybody's agenda. And finally, I would say, so for transportation, I guess, sharing assets and getting electric is going to become the norm. And that's a good thing. But I would tell you, especially as a legacy company, this digital world also brings challenges that needs to be addressed and managed, and that's what governments are doing. For example, we are in the world of connectivity. Well, the first issue is the one around data security, data privacy. you have all sorts of new operators that just drive commoditization, intermediation. It's all about pricing. This is not good when you have to manage expensive assets. So that's where it's all being organized, if you will. But there is one thing, and here Israel is an incredible place, and where you get great talent. And now we're offering people new jobs, data scientists, and other things. And competition to talent will be key for winning. As we know, customers are changing. The millennials, and many of you in the room, are driving that change again. The digital world helps us address and shop and buy anything online in a way that is real-time, user-friendly, and customized to our preferences. Well, we don't own anymore. You said that. More and more it's going to be shared usage. And the question is, what does it mean for a company like Hertz, car rental? We got to be part of this ecosystem where no one solution can have it all. And therefore, it's all about partnering together, because now it's about multimodal. To go, you know that acronym, right? When the mobility revolution, we say CASE. CASE, it's all around the car. The car is now connected. In fact, in Europe, it's by law since Q1 this year. More and more becoming autonomous, shared usage, and electric, as we said. And around that, the car is connected to its driver and connected to the environment, because even the environment is disrupted. Now we talk about traffic management, insurance by the minute, parking by the minute, new forms of payment. This whole ecosystem is transforming at a speed that we never known. And the car is at the center of that, and the technology within the car is what, if you will, powers this whole revolution in the world of big data, artificial intelligence, and connectivity, as your Prime Minister said yesterday. And these new business models, not only are they safer and cleaner, but they're more economical. And you can see this on the chart that actually shared usage, it's economical. And we take the City of London, 2.4 million cars, 95% of these cars are just parked at any point in time. And when they're not parked, 85% of the time, they don't move because of congestion. When you take a car rental or a shared car, it drives 85% of the time, and that's why you can see that car rental companies, if they transform, could play a key role in this whole environment. So now the scene is set. We're all talking about the same topic, right? The question is how a company like Hertz, who has built a lot but is 100 years old with all these processes and so on, needs to transform to be a leading player and a key partner of value for all of you in the future. Well, we got to do two things. We got to transform the way we operate today. We got to transform the customer experience, but at the same time, we need to build our competencies for the future. Tough, but the good news, same strategies, same ingredients, same technology will apply, and this is how. We firmly believe that service providers like ourselves will be at the center stage of this ecosystem because of all the competencies we buy. You see, talk about Uber, they don't own a car. Car manufacturers don't have direct relationship with customers. Everybody has to focus on what they do best. What we need to do best is to manage fleet, not just our own fleet, but also fleet for Uber, for example. We already run thousands of cars to Uber drivers, or Amazon, and people like this. We got to be a strategic partner to both the public and the private sector, all the operators that are going to be part in the world of the smart city. That's the vision. To do so, of course, we have to invest. We have to invest both in people and in technology. We are shifting. When you have to have 10,000 locations, it's a big investment. That investment is shifting to our people who deliver high-touch service and to the technology that will deliver a seamless transaction and across the whole ecosystem, if you will. The way we target technology is threefold. One, we are having a massive exercise of deploying a global, latest generation, state-of-the-art, safest technology around the world. On that technology, then, we can plug in the best-in-class application to manage customer relationships, management, fleet, big data, and connect with partners. That's very important. But that's not enough. Now we got to predict demand. In a world where car ownership changes, where are the needs? At what price can we sell that, that service? Well, this is where disruptive technologies come into play. This is where we partner here in Israel with the best mobility, smart mobility hub you can dream of, a magnet to the top Israeli startup, and which we do along with other partners like Volvo, Honda, Ituran, and others. And we're very proud of doing this here. And they bring us these new technologies around AI to predict demand, optimize supply, etc. We do other things with startups. We just don't talk about mobility. We work on payment, on human resources, on augmented reality, because we're in the travel and tourism industry as well. It's beautiful to see the destination. So we work really a lot with startups. But in the end, I would say that beyond the technology transformation that powers this whole revolution, above it all, it's a change in culture, it's a change in mindset, and big companies like ours have got to change. We got to become a learning organization. We have to accept learning by failing, and it's not easy when you're a public company with very strong governance. There was the word governance earlier. We got to adapt. And I would tell you, partnering with startup is the best thing we can do, because then you have the best of both worlds. Startups are very agile, very fast. We work with one. They've been able to solve an issue we had for 20 years in just 8 days, an Israeli startup. So we have a relationship with the Drive startups, which is one of sharing. We talk all the time. We mentor one another. And I'd say, very importantly too, we enjoy. It's quite exciting what's going on right now. So to recap and to conclude, this is how we see, that's the vision and how we see the road ahead. We see the road ahead by first having the basics right. We got to be able, and that's going to be very soon, to offer all our customers a fully digital experience on smart device. No queue at the counter, no counter, by the way. So it's all different, and that's happening as we speak, being piloted, and Israel is part of that. Then we are, at the same time, we build fleet management capabilities, be the best fleet management for our own fleet and other fleet. And then the car becomes more autonomous, and yes, we can say there is a demand here in Sarona for 50 autonomous vehicles at this price. We'll be able to do that, and we'll be, hopefully, partnering with you all, corporation, startups, public sector. We're going to build the smart city, and together, hopefully, make this world safer, cleaner, wealthier, in fact, a better world. And that's exciting, as you can see. And so very open to have any discussion, but we believe the future is indeed, as you said, full of opportunities for all of us here, but we got to partner and transform. And that's what Hertz can do, and we are committed to doing this and with you. Thank you very much.